So, a content creator asked the question about like, what is the most wildest conspiracy theory that you think is true that you heard no one else say? And I think that certain places of worship actually store remnants of humans in certain places. I say this because not too long ago there were human parts found in schools in Canada that was related to the indigenous community, right? And ever since I was a child, I would feel certain mystical sensations inside of churches, especially when there's music playing, things like that. And so all this made me wonder, like, was it the Holy Ghost? Like, what is that? So one day I was going into this church, and this story, I don't tell many people this story. So I was going to this church, and this was during a time where I was researching a lot of occult imagery and, understanding how certain religions use ancient symbols and it may not mean like things that are like positive. And so I went to this church and I noticed like everywhere I would see all these symbols that represented the dark side of certain practices. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, and so I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, like I'm looking up, down, everywhere I could see something. And once I said this in my mind, right, I felt this energy, this really heavy energy, like just move through the room. And the thing that's really interesting about this area is I know that the people that would go to this facility, this place of worship, they would be talking to themselves. I've noticed like maybe at least 3-4 women talking to themselves like straight up, and I'm like, what is this? So I go into this church, and I felt like this wave of energy, like, and it's heavy and dark, and it's not like high vibrational at all. It's very low vibrational. And so I noticed in this sanctuary, there's a person ahead of me walking too. And I'm just like looking around like, oh my gosh, like, what is this? Right. And I could just feel waves and waves of some type of heavy energy. And it's to the extent of you could see the energy moving in the air. Like you can see like waves, like, when it's hot in the summer and you see the waves off the asphalt, like going up like that from the heat, you could see the air in the room moving. As someone who, I wasn't really keen on my psychic and mediumistic abilities, but I just sensed that people were being harvested physically in this facility because of the symbolisms, because of the energy and the things that I were hearing. Like I was hearing and feeling the pain of different individuals. So I'm going through this sanctuary. Mind you, the person in front of me is like looking back at me like, what the heck is this? Like, because the whole room is shifting. It was like we were trying to walk through water in the building. Like, that's how thick and dense and heavy the energy was. And it felt like this entity, this low vibration entity, was trying to take over my body or enter my body. Okay. So this is when I started to use whatever gifts that I didn't really realize I had to, push this energy away. And I would say God, on repeat. I would say God on repeat, and then when I came to saying Jesus, in my mind, and mind you, I had to stay calm. I had to stay calm through all of this. I had to stay calm, and it finally backed off. It was whatever gifts I had internally. It was me saying Jesus, me saying God, but Jesus really did it. So as someone who's not a Christian, that's why I will stand by Jesus being a legit figure. People say that he didn't exist, all this stuff. Like, no, he existed. He exists in the spiritual realm as well. But I finally got the entity off of me. I got where I needed to go inside, and I got the F out. I got the F out of there. But I really think that certain places of worship do things in certain hours, because there is an Australian survivor that explained her situation and explained how the occult did certain things at certain hours that line up with sometimes people going missing, okay? This is all alleged now. This is all alleged. So, it's just crazy sharing this. I say this to say that we do not know what's going on until you know. Like, you do not know how deep the rabbit hole goes until you know, until you experience it. You know, the spiritual realm ain't a joke. It's not a joke. Jesus is real. I don't worship Jesus, but I know he's real, and I work with Jesus. I do. I do. I do. I do. He's a healer, and he is high ranking in the divine realm. So I just wanted to say that because it's just been on my chest. But like, I've been in certain facilities where there's like places and it smells like death. Like, it smells like death. It reminds me of the kids in Canada that they would not, no one would know to look there. No one would think to look there in these places, because they're all like, no, this is a place of God. It's a place of worship. No one would think to look there. Okay? This is all alleged. This is all alleged. This is entertainment purposes only, okay? But we have to be really, really mindful of the spiritual. This is why healing is so important. I'm going to wrap it up with healing once again, because until you really heal your vessel, you will shed the weight of the world that is weighing you down. You will shed the weight of your fears, your oppression that actually is clouding your gifts, your spiritual gifts. We all have spiritual gifts. Everyone on this planet has spiritual gifts. The only way you're going to unlock them, in my perspective, the best way to unlock them, I'll say, because there's plenty of ways to unlock them, is to heal. Okay? I'm a holistic practitioner. I do Reiki, sound therapist, crystal healer. If you're interested in a session, just hit me up. Offer free sound therapy playlists that actually help and guide you through whatever healing journey you're going through. Just shoot me up. Just hit me up, and if you're having any struggles in your healing journey, let's talk about it. Let's figure out what ways, techniques, everyday practical things we can do to help you on your healing journey. And remember, you are loved.